The 1995-96 Chicago Bulls are probably the greatest team in the history of the NBA, headed by Michael Jordan, who's definitely the best player that the sport has ever seen. And MJ is scary enough, but when you add athletic, all-time defender, point forward Scottie Pippen into the mix, as well as a great supporting cast with Dennis Rodman, who, when it comes to defense and rebounding, there's not much better, as well as Tony Kukoc, who's someone the defense has to pay attention to. Chicago, nearly impossible to defeat. So let's see if we can find an opponent who could potentially challenge them. And it will be this upcoming Golden State Warriors team, with the addition of Kevin Durant, which is pretty wild because a player this good coming to a team who was only a few minutes away from an NBA championship. They got all the way to Game 7. So Draymond Green and Steph Curry in this group with Kevin Durant, maybe they can actually challenge the Chicago Bulls. And what style will win? Will it be the Warriors and their outside shooting, which is only amplified by the spread pick and roll with Steph Curry and Draymond Green, as well as them playing small with Draymond Green at the 5 and having 5 athletes on the floor at significant moments of the game? Or will it be Chicago in their 90s style triangle offense, which oftentimes resulted in Michael Jordan post-ups? Which era will be more successful? This is of course going to be determined by 2K Simulator, so we can take it with a little bit of grain of salt. But here we go. Game 1, ignore their records because I had to make sure they both got here, so don't go crazy over the 81 wins. Game 1 goes to Golden State, and it seems that Kevin Durant and Andre Iguodala were the big deals for them in this one. It seems that Chicago in their all-time defense was not able to deal with KD's height as well as skills, at least in the first game. We can't give up on them just yet, of course. But Iguodala with 21 of his own points as well, someone like that coming off the bench is huge for them. And Klay Thompson really didn't do much in this one. And Steph Curry only had 14 points. While it was efficient, it was still only 14. He's going to have to do more than that. And for the Bulls, holy hell, Michael Jordan did what he could. Scottie Pippen was damn good as well. MJ with 45 points. Nearly a triple-double. Impossible to defend for the Warriors. They're going to have to think of something else. And he was doing it in all areas of the floor, as we expect MJ to do. His running mate, Scottie Pippen, did nearly enough to overtake Golden State in Game 1. Kukoc gave him a solid 16. But Golden State was just too much in this first game of the series. They're going to be up 1-0. Now let's see how the second game's going to go. Golden State is up 2-0 in this one, and Steph Curry got his groove going, whereas Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson were also able to contribute as well. This is not a good look for Chicago. If Steph Curry is starting to get it going, I mean, this guy can shoot you out of a game by himself. On top of they still haven't figured out how to deal with Kevin Durant. I mean, what's going on, Scotty? This is supposed to be your bread and butter defense. He's killing you right now, man. And now Klay is comfortable too after he has a bounce-back game from his first one. It's not good, man. And for the Bulls, it was all MJ. I mean, the dude was on an island, basically. And now shout out to Dennis Rodman for grabbing 16 rebounds. But MJ putting up 40 points on these Warriors, attacking the defense like nothing. The next guy was Scotty with 16. That's just not going to do it, man. They got to win Game 3 in Chicago. And luckily for them, they do just that, as Michael Jordan once again with a huge game, but also a balanced game from the complementary players. Now first, MJ's like, listen, the last thing y'all are doing is going 3-0 on me. So I'm definitely winning this game in Chicago, as he's doing whatever he wants. But also, 17 points from Steve Kerr on 3 3-pointers. That's huge. 16 and 9 from Luke Longley at the center position. And Tony Kukoc with another 15 points. He's playing beautifully for Chicago in this series. As for Golden State, well, it seems Chicago's defense got him on this one, as the Bulls probably ramped it up a little bit more. And KD still scored 21, but it seems like Scotty is starting to get to him on that side of the floor. So now this is a big one. Can the Bulls tie this series up at 2-all? Well, they do exactly that. The comeback is on, boys. And the duo of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, too much to deal with for Golden State. We knew MJ was going to be MJ, but if Scotty is also putting up over 20 a game and doing his thing, I don't know how the hell you actually beat these guys. And we can also say Luke Longley, 15 and 10? My goodness, he's showing up and then some for them at that center spot. And as for the Warriors, I mean, KD's still doing his thing with 24, but at the same time, it seems like Chicago has been able to contain him. And then as for the rest of the guys, like Steph Curry, for example, they've kept him in check, and Klay Thompson was not able to go off in this one, and that was the difference for the Bulls as they win this one by 2 points. Well, now we're all tied up. Who's going to take the next one? Who's going to take the lead? Well, that is the Bulls. This is pretty damn wild, man. And looking at Golden State's stat sheet, it seems the Bulls have said to themselves, we're going to let Kevin Durant do his thing a little bit because we're just going to body up their perimeter players and they can't do anything about it. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are being tested and they're not exactly showing up. Also, Klay must have nightmares about Michael Jordan at this point. And if we look at the trend for Chicago, it's obvious. The duo of Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan are impossible to deal with for Golden State on both sides of the floor, and the Bulls may take this in 6. So here we are, back in Chicago. Is it time for the Bulls to raise the championship? Well, let's see what happens. Oh boy, Golden State says, hold on everybody. We're going to a Game 7. MJ with 49, Scottie Pippen damn good as well with 21, and MJ has never been to a Game 7 in NBA Finals in his life. It's going to happen now, and he did everything he could, and the Warriors, they're just hanging on for dear life whenever MJ does anything in this series. And Scottie Pippen, a nice 21, able to contribute in all areas, but it was a total team effort by the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson was able to break out of MJ's shackles just long enough for 22. Curry shot the lights out. Not too many three-pointers, but an overall great game from him. Kevin Durant with 19 as well. We got one more game to decide this whole thing, boys. What's going to happen? Which era is going to be successful? The hard-nosed 90s or Twitter and three-pointers? Let's find out. Who is it? Who's the champions of this whole thing? It's the Bulls. MJ did it, and he did it on a triple-double with 35 frickin' points in a Game 7. Scottie was also great with 22. A 20-point victory for Chicago. Look, in a situation like this, MJ might be the first guy in sports that you pick for this sort of a Game 7 of this magnitude, and he showed up and then some. Golden State, no chance. Triple-double for MJ. All-time performance from him. And the best part about all of this, none of us are surprised that that one happened. Shout out to Pippen as well. As MJ said in his Hall of Fame speech, Scottie was always right next to him in these all-time performances. And they also put the clamps and then some on the Warriors. Steph Curry was able to do it. 29 points. He was hitting his three-pointers and all that. But the real reason why the Bulls won 6 titles was because of their defense. And Golden State felt that and then some in this Game 7. Warriors couldn't do anything they wanted. And so, according to NBA 2K, if these two teams faced off against each other, the greatest team of all time still stands. Shout out to MJ, and thank you for watching.